Well, howdy, 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 howdy. There we go. Turn the volume up. Howdy, howdy, howdy. I guess I should put my earbuds in. Come on, everybody. It's Friday. Finally, Friday. Um, Time to roll. Time to get the show on the air. It's time to roll this thing. Here we go. In three, two, one. Let's start her up. Let's see here. I got to double check here. I was scrambling because the wife left the TV blaring in the other room. So I had to turn off the ridiculous news report, which was just so depressing in general. But anyway, glad you guys are along. Got to mute mom for a moment. She'll be coming in with us, joining us in just a moment. But just checking the volume here. Yep, we're doing good. All good. So let's bring this down. Let's bring all this down. Sorry, I kind of got caught scrambling trying to jump in the chair, and there we go. Let's take that off, and let's kind of turn this just a tad. There's a little bit of light still. It's still sun making its way down behind us. But a windy day here, 35, 40 mile per hour winds here in the Metroplex today, and it was very West Texas. I did find out today on the radio that Chicago's the windy city, but they're not the windiest city in the United States. I believe they are sixth, in the list. Places ahead of them: Buffalo, Kansas City. Trying to think who the other city that was in front of them. Dallas, Fort Worth. Did you know the number one windiest city in North America is, or I should keep saying North America, in the United States? You can tell I've got my Australia hat on when I say North America. The windiest city in America, in these United States of America, is Boston. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. I had no clue that was the windiest city. I just assumed it was always Chicago. Now, wind chill and things like that. I believe Chicago's average wind speed's like just over 10 miles an hour over 365 days. I believe Boston's was something like 12 miles per hour, something like that. So anyway, yeah, little did you know there. How about that? Little did you know on a virtual happy hour on a Friday. Again, sun out. I didn't pull the temperature up. Let's just see what it is right now at the last hour at the big airport, I believe.
You are. Is that you?
Wait till we come back on screen. I think we're back on, but let's just see what possible. If not, I'll have to reboot the whole show, but
Yeah,
there we go. It's kind of ridiculous. Sorry about that. Sorry, folks. Lost me there. it's the internet again. Our internet's just flat out garbage. It's frustrating because you're trying to do a live show, stream live, and you can't even pull it off half the time, and it's embarrassing. It quite frankly pisses me off. I pay for the garbage internet, and this is what we get. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's like if I was the burger joint down the street and I served you burgers made of dirt. That's what you're getting from me. You're getting burgers made of dirt from this show. I apologize. It's really, really ticks me off. Dang it, it ticks me off. All right, where were we? Okay, I don't know what we faded. But what I was telling you was, a windy day here. Lose power this afternoon. I was not here. We lost power this afternoon on a 52-degree day, 35, 40-mile-an-hour winds. There's a ground stop at both Dean and Love Field last hour. So that was going on too. But yeah, high winds today. But leave me to answer the question or ask the question: what's the windiest city in America? And you always assume that it's going to be Chicago. But places in front of Chicago, Kansas City, San Francisco, Buffalo, Dallas, Fort Worth, Boston are all in front of the city of Chicago. Now, Chicago has the bigger wind chill. If you figure the wind chill factor in there, it's much colder wind than any place else in North America. They 10-mile-an-hour wind on average over the course of 365 days. Now, of course, 60 or 70 or 80 of those days are blowing off the lake. Also, Milwaukee was in front of Chicago too. But that wind off the lake, dropping your 32-degree temperature down into the teens quite often. So that's really where a lot of that happens. So, all right, let's see here. We did get that out. Let's go ahead and roll this. Let's see if we can get this part of the show sort of going. Let's try anyway. There she is. Internet's so freaking garbage. That's so aggravating. Because what we're doing a live stream. This is a live show. This is, granted, a show that really, it's doesn't really accumulate, but it is something I like to. What this is my batting practice, and even my batting practice can't even throw pitches. It really pisses me off, Mom. How you doing?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You're on. Over.
Oh, over. I'm on. I'm off, and I'm on. Yeah. You should talk to my sister. They have similar problems, but you would think when you're out in the boondocks in West Texas, you might have those problems, but you shouldn't have them in a metropolitan area.
Well, aggravating. My wife's mad at me because I'm being negative, but it's just so frustrating because, again, it's not like. I mean, it's like we're a live show. I'm streaming live, and this happens on all my streams. It's got the point of just it's ridiculous. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
But anyway, how are things up there? Yeah.
Oh, well, it was beginning to have some flakes of snow when I was driving home from my adventure this afternoon. I don't know what it's dark here now, so I have no clue what's going on outside. But yeah, I think we're supposed to get that remnants of that weather that's in the Midwest.
Hold on, I want to talk to my wife. I was going to ask you a question because of I'm going to hold on. We got what's safe in there is what I'm asking you.
Everything. I watch everything.
Because there's a water cup in there that's not safe.
Don't touch that water cup.
Well, why is it on the shelf in the fridge?
You want me to put it in the dishwasher?
Anyway, sorry, Mom. My wife and I were discussing. By the way, are the pretzel rods okay?
Yes, we wipe down the outside of the container.
Anyway, Mom, I texted you a while ago, but our sweet Caroline, Caroline is in a house quarantine for how many days?
14.
But it's not 14 though, right, babe?
All 14.
Well, we'll clarify that when she comes on, but we'll get that update because it's all happened the last hour and a half. I got home from school about 3:40, and it's last hour and change. But so anyway, you get, yeah, she's home. She's upstairs. Honestly, Mom, it doesn't change a lot for her because she's up there in her room quite a bit anyway. She's got a really cool setup. She's got her streaming apparatus, her headphones, her desk, all her setup, her different tools and toys for streaming. So she's got a pretty big. The only thing it doesn't have in the actual room itself is a shower and a restroom and a sink, but that's just around just one. She's got her own just around the. I mean, just you see the house.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So it's not like she's.
I thought she was on the campus, but she's not.
No. She doesn't. She was supposed to come back to campus on Tuesday. She can't go to the 29th. So, but she has to be. Well, wife will fill us in a few minutes when she's for beer in a few minutes. But anyway, so good morning, Harold. You mate. So good to see you.
Yeah. Well, that's life in the fast lane, isn't it? Yeah. So Audrey didn't go back to school yet then.
No, she has to go back to Marshall, and I don't know what her status is when she can't go back either. She has to. Her dad actually was. Her dad is positive. He actually, I believe, had symptoms. Am I correct? I'll have to bring my wife. Come on, honey. Let's bring the wife in here. Bring the wife because I'm talking, and it's not really doing much for the show by not clarifying what's going on. So let me bring the wife in here. And yes, Sioux Falls. Maybe actually, Kevin, it was the windiest big cities, I guess. Maybe Sioux Falls is, but because Lubbock has something to say about it too. Honey, good morning, Harold. Good morning over there in Australia. So explain to us exactly what transpired in our house a couple hours ago, or about an hour and a half ago.
And got a phone call from her biffle, Audrey, and who she was with for dinner yesterday and over at her house. And she called to say that she and her dad had tested positive today. Her dad had symptoms, I think, but she started showing symptoms today. So they both got tested and they're both positive. So they are in isolation. And so they had to call their close contacts and they called Caroline. Now, here's the question. She was with Audrey yesterday. I know they were unmasked, but I don't know if they were closer than 6 feet. So like there's a possibility that she won't get anything. And they were masked when they were out and about. But I don't know how close they were or how close she was to Mr. Bullock when they were inside, because she said they weren't masked inside their house. So I had to wipe everything down. She touched down here and then send her off to her room and said, don't come out unless you're going to the bathroom and I'll bring you your food. So that's sort of where we are, crossing our fingers that she stays negative. She has to get tested between 5 and 7, which is between the 20th and the 22nd. And as soon as if she tests then she's clear, she can do whatever. Or maybe she, I didn't really get the full scoop on that, but she can't get tested until day 5 or 7. And then, but if she shows symptoms, has to get tested, and if she tests positive, then Danny and I are in quarantine.
Yeah. Well, you have to hope for the best.
Yes, we will hope for the best.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't know. I mean, it's still kind of crazy. The scenarios that transpire as a result of being exposed. Who knows? And you really, I think, have to really have close contact, saliva, sneezing, kissing, those kinds of things before you really.
I don't think she was kissing Audrey.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
or
saying
Audrey's
the close contact, if they're coughing or whatever and there are particles in the air, well, so, if they had symptoms.
I don't think there was any of that. They just had runny noses and, what else did she say? Did you hear her? She said runny nose and something else. I can't remember, but it wasn't anything. A headache. They had runny nose, a headache, and fever. I think that's what it was.
Well, so
that was today. They didn't have it yesterday when Caroline was with them.
Caroline feels fine, I believe.
Yeah, she feels fine.
So that's a good thing.
It's probably going to be okay, but just one of those wait and see kind of things. Well,
yeah, it's the worst.
I tell you, I went to get. I didn't say much, but I am after I get my second shot. I am going to say something. This was a physician's office in Goshen that I went to get my shot today, and
Indiana.
Goshen, Indiana.
I'm just saying, clarifying what it was for our viewers.
Yeah, and I chose that because it's about half distance between here. I didn't want to go to the Elkhart Health Department because every fly by night is going to be there. But of course, you have to have appointments. But they must schedule appointments every 5 seconds because there were so many people. And bear in mind, all but a couple were 80 plus. Somebody who was born in 1926 was in there in her wheelchair. So we're talking, a really, an elder, because it's 80 plus right now. But the other two people, one had worked at a nursing home, and then another one was essential worker, like a fireman or something. The man. But when we finished getting our shot, in the lobby they had, social distance. But when we got our shot, we were in this room. We had to wait 15 minutes to make sure we were okay. But we were maybe 2 feet apart in there. Of course, nobody was coughing, nobody was sputtering, But I was like, and it was a small room, about the size of my living room here. And I was very distraught about that we were too close in that room. So, and that's a medical facility. So good grief, you never know. Nobody was coughing, nobody was spitting on each other, but you had to not have the symptoms when you went to get the shot. But anyway, that part was painless. When I saw all those people in that one room and this larger than life person in the midst of the room that was scheduling our second shot, I was like, so I'm going to comment after I get my second shot about that they need to be more cautious. And I may send an anonymous comment because, so much for social distance. I don't care if you got the shot. It's not going to be until you get the second one. It's not. It's 50% effective. So there you go. So, but anyway, I had 2 margaritas to celebrate.
Yeah, I would do that.
Well, at least you didn't shoot your arm up with margaritas. That would have been really a mess.
No. And it was, and I felt so blessed that I'm upright 5'4.5", and most everybody were in wheelchairs, walkers, and canes. There were a couple of men with their wives, and they had dementia, you could tell, or Alzheimer's, because the wives were kind of guiding them, honey, now you need to stand up, and she was getting his coat on. And so it was an eye-opener to know, that you are a lucky person to be 80 and to be where you are. Of course, tomorrow's a new day.
Sounds a little bit.
But oh what?
Sounds a little bit like the last speech I saw of the president-elect. But
yeah. Oh yeah.
I had to say that. I had to make a crack. It was a very anyway.
Yeah. Well, don't even go there with me because
I just had to take it. That door was wide open and I had to take it. So, but my wife did say. My wife did say the other office holder who's in office for a week would have probably asked you to, do the margarita thing. So either way, anyway. Yeah. Each party got a joke there. Well, I'm glad you got it, Mom. I know that's I know my in-laws got it too this week.
Yeah.
I know it's a peace of mind thing.
Yeah.
And
well,
that's
at
least one of mine. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's 50% off. 50 because it's, and it's 2 weeks after you get the second one that you're pretty good to go. So it's a 5-week process that you're not out of the woods yet, and you don't need to be taking
no doubt
taking precautions anyway. Well, I'll get on the other side so you can visit with everybody else. But cheers! It's the weekend. And I'm
the
having
shots.
Cabernet. Love you.
Okay, love you too. I don't think she heard me very well. There she goes, Mom. Let her go. For some reason, I'm getting issues on my phone too. So let's let Mom go. Player jam though. Here we go, Mom. All right, happy Friday. I was going to tell my mom this, and I guess my wife can hear this, so she's watching in the room. She'll be back in for the beer testing in a few minutes, which is, by the way, that's coming up. I didn't really preview the show. I kind of was a wheels off. Had to run. There's a commercial out right now with the commercial Get Low. And if they would have heard, if that song would have been bleeding over in our broadcast, they might have bleeped our broadcast. So I didn't want that to happen either. We're getting a lot of airplay as of late. Anyway, playoff weekend as well. All kinds of stuff going on. And MLK holiday on Monday. So it's a 3-day weekend. We will be here today. Probably a bonus beer show, perhaps, or something. But anyway, glad you guys are along. I'm glad you guys stopped by to join us on this happy hour on a Friday. And so the show basically, if you're stopping by later, or you just swung by, you're like, what is going on here? We started this show back in March. It's when we went to lockdown. We basically do it every 3 times a week, 5 o'clock, hour, sometimes half hour, sometimes longer. And it actually goes simulcast on Facebook and on YouTube, which Kevin's watching us on YouTube, by the way. And Kevin says if she tests positive, do we need to quarantine? So you two have to quarantine. Do we need to also, since we're watching the show? Very funny, very funny. Harold at Krispy Kreme over in Australia. How about that, Harold? I remember when that place opened over there. I think it opened 16-ish. I was there when it opened. Not good, folks. Anyway, what else is going on? Oh, yeah, I was going to say, this is what I was going to tell my mom and my wife. I've substituted now. I did 5 days this week, 4 last. So I've done, 9 straight days, and I'll do a 10th on Tuesday. Then I'll be done for a few days. I have a trip to Kansas City planned next week. But I've noticed a little October, even into November, and I did really between Thanksgiving and Christmas when I subbed, but I'm noticing it now. And at least at Prince of Peace, where the girls went and where I subbed the last 9 days, I've gotten to the point where I've seen enough students and I know enough of them that they're not taking any chances. So, for example, student A feels a little odd or sick or stuffy nose or whatever. Rather than take any chance of sitting back to school, mom and dad are bringing him home or her, and they go virtual. And I've had them virtual for days and then back again. I've had them virtual for a day. I had one guy gone on Tuesday, back on Wednesday. The lady was gone on gone on Wednesday, back on Friday. And they basically, the mom and dad will keep them home. They'll test them and make sure they're okay. And when they test negative, then they, maybe 2 days in a row, they get a little better, they bring them back. They're not taking any chances. Back in the day when we were in school, stuffy nose, we'd still go to school. We had to have fever. There had to be some kind of fever not to go. And they're just not taking chances. Teachers doing the same thing. If teachers have been around exposed, I was subbing for a teacher this week who had been but had not tested positive, had no symptoms, had tested negative, cleared to come back on Monday. And I believe she couldn't teach the first 2 weeks. Well, it started right before New Year's, around New Year's, and she couldn't teach the first 2 weeks of school. So you've got a lot of that. A lot of people just aren't taking chances. They're just not doing it. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. I mean, why take a chance? Why? Why chance it? And I'm a lot more, and that's the thing. I would say probably back in October, you would have maybe one virtual student every couple of classes, but now, I mean, literally 5, and you have 5 probably per class. So let's say a class of 20, let's say. It's a private school. So class of 20, 4 or 5, probably, I say the average, but as many as 5 or 6. And then, they've already marked them on the roster as virtual. And then that day, it may be 2, 3 more. And I had an advisory group this week that I had to take to chapel, things like that, and assemblies. And it was 22 strong. You took out the 6 quarantiners. That dropped it down to the dropped it down to the teens. And I had a couple more today that were out, and it dropped it down to 14. I believe it was 14 of the 22 because they had 6 in quarantine, 2 more went just in case. So no one's taking chance to get it. So why chance it? And so anyway, thoughts and prayers we're pulling for our kiddo. Anyway, let's will I be watching yes. That starts 2.5 hours. I'll be watching part of it, yes, because I got to put the game notes up as soon as I'm done here. I'm putting game notes for the Heat will be on just a second because I hadn't put them up. I forgot to put them up, but the game notes will be up for the doubleheader. The Heat play at 8 a.m. 10 a.m., 8 a.m., 8 p.m. here, 10 a.m. in the West. Local time. I don't know. It's 10 a.m. in the West and another 4:50 game in Perth in the evening. That'll be 2:50 in the morning here. I will not watch that one. I'll watch that on replay tomorrow morning because I want tabulations in for the game notes for coming up on Monday, and then I didn't want to put those tabulations in, but I'll do those at least game 1 tonight and game 2 in the morning. But yeah, I'll watch game 2 on the replay there. But anyway, that's what we got going on here. Let me bring this down and let me. We got some beer to get to. I didn't pull anything out because there wasn't sure if I came up with dog quarantine in the house, so she's in the house than us. When she does make it into any place close to us, we got to put our mask on, but she's not around us. So I'm assuming 2 of your choice, and bring me the rods. My lovely wife is, and we're out. No, walk him, and I'll stall when you get back. We'll do our beer. She's going to pull out 2 for me, beers, and then we'll do it again on Monday. We'll get kind of our back stock cleared out. There you go. And I'll show those to you guys in a minute. But she'll walk the dog, and we will go that route. So for you folks watching on YouTube, glad you are. And I need to update the Broadcaster Can Cook side of things. I do have that channel as well. I'm going to see Derek out there. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're enjoying the Northeast and all that comes with the weather up there. Also the playoffs and all that good stuff. Derek, former ball player, good dude, really good guy. Anyway, what else is going on? I mentioned the innocence of our youth, and I will give you a little story of today that gives me some faith in the future generations. Now, I've been in the middle school this week. I was in high school one day subbing, then I was in the middle school, and I've gotten to the point where most of those kids in both, especially the middle schoolers, all know who I am, and then the high schoolers, for the most part, know my face. But they had a middle school production today, and the name escapes me, the musical. But I don't recall being as enthusiastic about drama when I was in school. And I thought these kids were really enthusiastic. There's one young man who's a bit of a handful, and he's a good kid, but he's a bit of a handful, a little witty, maybe, and then he's probably a little back from my day, in the subs trouble. But I didn't know he was in drama. I look up there, and he's in the music, did a heck of a job. And I guess my, watching those youngsters today, and we were down the youngsters a lot anyway because all it is play video games. But it was cool to see. This was not a small cast. This cast was probably 25, 30 students doing a musical today, and they were without their devices. They were doing an old school art, and they were not involved. They weren't doing now. Of course, I'm sure the drama practices that they probably were doing, rehearsals, I guess they call it. They might have been TikToking the life away, but it was cool to see the kids that had been giving me a little grief in class here and there on stage looking at old school art. So it was really cool to see that. Good to see Lance out there out in Lubbock. Speaking of Lance, Did you know this, Lance, that Chicago is not the windiest city in North America, that the big cities? It's actually I had no idea. Only by like it's funny because it's like 10 miles an hour average, 10.3, 10 point. It's not like it's 10 miles and 20 miles. It was like just barely 11 was the Boston average wind, but it makes sense on the coast. Chicago, though, on the lake, so it makes sense too. And here's the other thing. I don't remember hearing this in my meteorology class I took as an elective at Tech, but why? Because this morning I left the house about 6:15, 6:10, do our morning walk, and she was a few minutes behind me. She caught up to me with the dog. That's how slow I walk. I was also dragging ass this morning. A couple Tech 2 nights ago, and last night watching baseball again. The wind wasn't too bad. It was a little breezy, but it wasn't too bad till I got, was walking into school at 10 till 8. I could feel a difference. Why is it when the sun's down, the wind's bad? In general, that's not always the case, but in general. Although in Australia, though, it's weird because in Australia, the Fremantle Docker, they call it the Fremantle Doctor, not Docker, comes off the Indian Ocean, and let's say it's been a 100-degree day, and by 6 o'clock, sun starts going down by, sundown at 7:45. That comes off the ocean and it cools things down. I've gone where it's been a 100-degree day and I've got to wear sleeves at sundown there. It's very much like Lubbock. Lubbock wasn't the number one city. It was Boston of all places. Yeah. But I told the story last week how I remember walking to campus class and it was blowing sleet and my jeans froze to my legs. It was pretty bad. So anyway. Coming in a few minutes, we're going to test the beer out and do that. I've got a couple for you. My wife will join me when she gets back. How are you folks? What's going on today? What great things are going on in y'all's world? I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear, fire off something. Mention the playoffs of this weekend. Oh, didn't talk since Tech's big win. Texas Tech won a big game at Austin. They play Baylor tomorrow. The two of top 4 teams. Like Baylor's 1 or 2 in the country. Texas was 4. Get Baylor, who's a different breed of Baylor this year. They've been pretty good, salty over the last few years, but this may be their best team they've had since that 2012 or 13 team that was pretty good. But they go to Lubbock this week. It's weird though, watching some of these big time college matchups, and not in Austin, for example, had no fans in the stands at all. Tech will have a few. There's been some colleges here or there that have had some. It's kind of weird to see that. Of course, the Stars to start. You kid up there, I'll give you a better shot of it. They're waiting around because they've had some positive tests as well, but all good. So that's what's going on here. We showed you guys the air fryer on Friday. I've got that Wednesday rather. I've got the air fryer fever again. I want to do some more wings this weekend. Definitely going to do it. 2 of my wins, Tech and Purdue beat Purdue beat IU. Okay. How about that, Mom? The IU win for you. I saw they had a few tickets left, and they put them up, or student tickets left. You got one of those student tickets, or are you up in the upper reaches? I saw they did put some on sale Monday or Tuesday. I figured they went pretty quick. I had to check because I wasn't sure what the Australia thing. I did get cleared to travel to Australia, but you can't get on a flight now. There's no flights. Literally, there's not a flight between now and then. There's a flight on Friday and Saturday, and then they don't have a flight again for another 6 days. The flight 6 days after is $14,000. $14,000. What Australia's done, they've cut the capacity on flights in. They halved it, and there's nothing to be had. I've been trying to get on a flight, and doesn't look like it's going to happen. So my fiance and I are getting wedding ring sized tomorrow. So that's exciting. Hey, that's exciting. I love that. That's cool. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah. Blessings to you, Ethan. And That's a cool thing, man. I am so happy. When's the date? When are you guys when is coming soon? I mean, yeah, we get into the same thing. Luckily, we already had my wife's, at the time, fiance's taken care of the air a little bit. Mine, we had to scramble. We had a really good experience at a local jewelry here. What's it called? I'll have to ask her. Something Brothers. Anyway, they did great. We scrambled and got it done. But yeah, congratulations, though. That's exciting. Yeah, best thing I ever did. I'm telling you. WD-40 and I have some ups and downs like any couple, but it's the best thing I ever did. So congratulations to you. Although this little thing here, this was size 2. I have a gold one that's upstairs that I wear, nicer events, dinners, church, whatever. These rubber ones I wore because my first after I got married, my first trip after we got married back to Australia, I caught myself taking this ring, my gold ring off, putting it in my pocket to go to the beach because I didn't want to put my rings in my pocket. I didn't want to carry the water. I didn't, I don't want. I just would put them in my, or I would leave them at my flat. So my wife put these really cool. These are something you can work out in them. You can, I can shower in it. I can go to the beach, lay in the pool, whatever with it. So in Belize, I wore one of these in Belize the whole time we were there. And so yeah, Robin's on their website. They did a really good job for us. Is there a double T rubber one? You know what? I knew that and probably walked right by it at one of the shops there on Broadway. I didn't even realize it. I've got the double T ring here, but interesting. Yeah, but yeah, the best thing. Getting married November 13th. Good on you, mate. That's awesome, man. That is really, really cool to hear. Congratulations. Getting a ring custom made to look like a ring of the power from the Lord of the Rings. Very good. Very, very good. Very, very good. I like it. Lance said he found it online. Okay, well, so maybe I got to check that online. I feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember where I saw it. I may have seen one of the when we fall. Maybe I saw it, but were you wearing that when we met back in the spring or summer? It was summer. I don't know. Check it out. I don't know. We'll find out. But definitely, I think that'd be kind of cool. Back one because the double T would look really cool on that, wouldn't it? But good to see Luke over in Australia as well. Always love it. We've had Perth. I believe he's not in Perth. We had Perth. We had Sydney earlier. We've got the Texas Outback of Lubbock. We've got the Australian Outback. No, I'm kidding. There's no Luke. I believe is in Queensland. That sounds right. Anyway, he's in the great country of Australia, so it's all good. Christmas gift. I got you. Christmas gift. All right, hon. Are you coming? And pretzel rods. We got to do a little beer tasting here. It's beer time. It's beer 30. Beer 30 time. Beer 30 time. We're going to do our weekly full thumb that I still have not gone back and put all the scores up, but it's that time again. And let's fire off some beer music. How about it? Here we go. Go. Wife loves that jam, don't you, babe? You do love the jam. Here she comes. She's going to join us here. WD-40. You got to kind of, the lights are still on. You got to kind of slide over. I can't slide this chair to break. It's on strike as it is. Let me slide. Slide over there. Okay. What did you get the pretzel rods?
Oh shit.
Oh. Shoot. She meant shoot. She meant shoot.
No, I meant shit.
Easy, easy, easy. I don't want to go to Facebook jail. There's enough people getting canceled out. I don't want to get salty.
It's down here.
What is what?
Oh, it's on your face.
No one put hands on me, do they? Like COVID hands?
No. No, she reached in and took one.
That's why I asked earlier.
But I wiped everything down.
You didn't wipe the pretzels down?
Yeah, but she didn't touch all the pretzels.
I didn't know that you guys had rifled through my pretzels already. My goodness. I'm going to drink like a fish tonight. The only kind of COVID pretzel I've got. Oh, well, too late now. All right. A couple here.
You don't like pretzels.
All right. Fresh Squeeze IPA India Pale Ale. Show you guys the screen. The beer here.
India?
India Pale Ale is what they call IPA. It's not from India.
Oh.
It's India Pale Ale.
Sweet. I love it. I love Indian food. Bring it on.
My wife was a smarty pants, but that one right there definitely put her in my grade right there. My grade book.
I'm a smarty pants in a very small niche.
Well, India Pale Ale is what they call IPA. That's what IPA stands for. It's the Deschutes Brewery in Bend, Oregon. Family and employee owned since 1986. 6.4% alcohol by volume, impossibly juicy, undeniably refreshing, freshly squeezed, no fruit here.
I like it.
No fruit was harmed in the making. Yeah. Can you guys see that? So anyway, there is the kind of like the little squeeze there. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up.
Okay, move. I don't want you up here.
Babe, you're gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to.
Well, I have to keep sliding over because
Why?
I keep moving that screen.
I didn't move anywhere.
All right,
Who is it that's getting married? This is a good.
Ethan's getting married. He's getting rings this weekend. It's pretty
I need to
exciting.
get my rings resized. They literally fall off my hands.
Smell it.
Ooh. That smells. See, we don't have COVID yet. That smells good.
Thanks, mate. Ethan, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you always following us on TBA as well, mate. And chat again soon.
Good luck with the Beyonce.
Yes, good luck with the ring sizing, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
What was it? If you like it, then you got to put a ring on it.
Yeah, there you go. Here we go. Let's the cat and the dog are going nuts. I don't know why.
He wants what we're eating, but he doesn't like pretzels.
Here, that will shut you up. There you go. Enjoy
Get
that.
away with it. Sweet.
All right, now let's have the little taste of the beer.
Is it pineapple?
No, you're not gonna like.
Oh, really? Is it bitter? Ugh.
Yeah, I told you.
Ooh, it's bitter. One.
Hold on, just a second. Yeah, that's not the best. I don't know why. I'm not sure. It's a beer style. Let me read the exact definition. It's a hoppy beer style within the broader category pale ale. Style of pale ale, which is known as India Pale Ale, was widespread in England by 1815. It would gain popularity, notably as an export beer shipped to India and elsewhere. Thus, the name India Pale, but it's not India, but it was part of the.
Not a fan.
It was shipped to India for the
Indians,
colonies.
The Indians can have it.
So, but no, it's a British English. So, yeah, Asia pretty big in the boutique beer industry.
Does
but
it make me hoppy?
no, it doesn't make you. I'm going to have to clear that out. But yeah, I don't hate it, but it's not going to be something. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not going to be something I'm going to buy 6 more of.
Have another sip.
I was hoping that it was freshly squeezed. If it had more of a fruity taste, it's not. I mean, if you like it, actually, the IPA style, of the darker style, I would definitely go with this over anything we've had so far. But definitely what I was thinking, what I thought it was going to be, is not what it was. So we'll set that one aside now.
I need to brush in my makeup.
I have a COVID. Well,
Don't look good.
well,
The
I'll
light
tell you.
for me. You didn't bring in a light.
What?
You didn't bring a light.
Well, way too bright.
Yeah, that is too bright. No.
Here we go. This is
Dude,
Pecan Pete
it's
Porter.
disgusting.
I love the can.
Yeah, it's cute. I picked
You
it.
got pecan. There he is, right there. He kind of looks like a cross between. He looks like a cross between Nebraska mascot and that mascot at Copycat U up at Okie State. If Okie State and the Nebraska's mascot, that Husker guy, the little Matt,
Got busy.
and got, they had a love child, this would be the one right here. That's would be him. It's a
Can you do
Pecan
that?
Pete. I don't know. Let's see here.
That
It
would
feels.
require a lot of surgery.
Any IPA I've had 5% is very average in my opinion. Above 5% is very average. Yeah, this one, Paul, was by the way, good to see you, mate.
It's gross.
6.4.
It's gross.
So Pecan Pete here, it's 7.5% alcohol by volume. It's a porter, Pecan Pete Porter.
What's a porter?
Let's get the definition of porter. I should probably put these on the screen for us, but what is a porter? Let's go to that interweb.
Well, it's going to say that's somebody who opens a door. That's
No.
a porter.
No, well, not back in 1920. I mean,
Well, I mean, he's a character.
you say.
He's
Uh,
a character.
porter
in
is a-
Macbeth.
Porter is a style of beer that was developed in London, England in the early 18th century.
Okay, well hopped. Yuck.
It was well hopped and dark in appearance owing to the use of brown malt. The name originated with the street and river porters. Okay, it's-
Not a fan.
but it's usually a port's going to be usually a little darker. Phil says,
I can tell you now. You're getting crumbs on you.
to go, what?
Give DV a shout out. He works hard on those.
It's good to hear those things actually make the air because I hear, but I don't think anybody, they come from talking baseball. Baseball's best mate, Paul and I. That's us. Pecan beer is good. They make some in Ruidoso. I've actually heard about that beer. I believe a fraternity brother of mine was talking about that recently online. So anyway,
his Facebook picture is probably his son with the "I'm a Red Raider."
daughter.
I can't see it. It's tiny. Sorry. There's no. And
Well, his daughter's a senior at Coronado, I believe.
okay, well, the tiny little
I'm all
picture
right.
on the screen, just all I can see is the "I am a Red Raider" in a shadow.
All right. Let me.
Yay for her.
All right, not the palate's clean. All right, here it says, Pete is a likable and honest. So it says.
His roots.
His roots were deep in Texas. He has a sweet tooth for
Cons.
pecan. He'll tell you about. I got the light.
Here, I can read it. Is a sweet. He craves pecans. He'll tell you about them with a grim and a passion. With a grin and passion. This is Pete's beer, sweet with lots of roasted pecans, built on an American-style porter to satisfy the craving for anything found on Mobile.
Okay.
It's like a pecan pie from Grandma.
Okay. It's made by Red Gap Brewing, and it's in, I believe, Cisco. That sounds right.
Yeah, Cisco, Texas.
Yeah, Conrad Hilton Boulevard. So, and you're probably saying, what is Conrad Hilton Boulevard? That's because the original Conrad Hilton Hotel, I believe, was in Cisco back in the day. So, anyway.
Fun fact.
Yeah, there's
Fun fact.
actually the original Hilton was there, and there's some kind of the small building's still there in downtown. Anyway, we can talk about. We'll have to go by Cisco one day and do. Cisco's the way out west. I mean, you go goes Weatherford, Ranger, Cisco. Weatherford, Cisco, Ranger. Then it goes into Abilene, something like that. Anyway, I drive through them all the time. I can't claw them too. There we go. All right.
Phil said he's commentating tonight's game. He's going to do his best to give you a shout out.
Oh, no, Phil. Yeah, that was not what I would. No,
Hey.
we're not. My wife, hopefully, she was just being snarky.
I was being snarky.
We're not. No one's asking you to change your broadcast. She's just trying to stroke my ego and make me feel better about the labor of love. So, anyway.
And again, it may just be a culture thing because over here we thank everybody under the sun. You do before you close off. You thank the person who empties the trash in the.
It's called being from Texas.
That's what I'm saying. It's a culture thing here.
No, I'm looking forward to hearing you tonight, bud.
Ugh, that's disgusting. That's worse than that one.
Really?
Oh, I need a drink. That's horrible. Ugh.
Okay, I'm not. No, I'm not. But
Nothing in here to drink.
if I was grab the pecan beer you liked. If I was going to go dark beer, man, my wife away. This would be it. This is not. She obviously doesn't live with the dark beer now and then. This one right here. This one right here is doable. It's doable because it's got a little bit of that bitter porter taste, that darker taste, but it's got just a hint. It's like that hint of pecan, that hint of pecan sugar in it. Just a hint. It's not overwhelming like the pecan pie beer we had a couple weeks ago, which we really like. But it's got that. I can live with this. Matter of fact, yeah, I like that. I like that. Well, you're going to have to come back to the show because we're still on, man.
I am. I'm gonna come back.
Okay. Well,
But I gotta open this. Should I borrow your muscles?
I'll just say here to you, Ray. Really like it. I mean, it's not a big deal, but what do you need?
I need you to open that.
Like that, like you normally do. It's
Strong man.
not very hard. Just don't hate it.
Ugh, disgusting.
Of the dark beers, it's my favorite. Of the dark ones. Now, granted, that's like saying of the. It's like saying my second favorite team, the NFC East, but I mean, you know, or.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as I thought it was, as you made it sound. But
We'll see how this is.
I love the dude. I love Pete. He looks great. And doesn't he look like a cross between the Nebraska Cornhusker and the Oklahoma State Cowboy? I mean, he does.
Yeah.
He's definitely that guy. Definitely that guy.
That is the most disgusting beer I've ever tasted.
Really, worse than this one. You thought that was worse?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now you're drinking some garbage.
Yeah, this is garbage, but it's better than that. It's Skinny Girl White Peach Margarita.
Boy, Phil, I'll be asleep in the night game. I'll be up for the first game though. We'll watch the first game here, part of it anyway. I would imagine, or most of it till we flip on the next. We got to kick off some new Netflix shows. We got several we want to watch. Anybody out there got anybody have a suggestion? We'd love to hear from you.
I want to watch that Bridgerton, but I also want to keep going with Ballers. I'm like,
Oh,
I dream about.
we love Ballers. We love. You know what? I'm going to say this random media statement or Hollywood statement. Dwayne Johnson,
He's good.
he's got something.
I love him.
You know, and most of those guys that cross over from wrestling or whatever, or from some kind of bit, have a bit going, they kind of just are bit players. He's actually pretty dadgum good in that. And I didn't realize, I know it's a few years old, it's dated, but I got into it initially going over on a flight last year.
It's a good show.
And I watched several, and so I re-racked it and we're watching it, but we're going to get that. I
Well,
want
it was
to.
interesting. This is sort of related, but in talking to Calvin Watkins today, the Dallas Cowboys writer, he was talking about salary cap. Look at Max. What is he wanting?
Well, he's behind me somewhere.
There he is, by the door.
What are you doing, bud?
What are you doing, buddy? You want another pretzel? Okay, peace out.
He must like him because he doesn't usually like pretzels per se. I think he likes them because they're the sticks. We love the sticks.
He thinks they're bones.
Hey, Mac.
Needs their people bone.
He may, but
But talking to Calvin Watson and
Watkins.
Watkins, sorry, that's what I meant. Talking to Calvin Watkins in my class yesterday and today, I'm talking about salaries and dead money and all this stuff. Sadly, all I kept thinking of was what I had learned about that whole process of courting and the draft, and if you get, if he makes it to day 3, he'll get this much money. All I kept thinking of was all the negotiating done on Ballers, and I was like, that's so sad that that's my reference point. But I like it. It's a good show. But what I don't like is that terrible beer.
Well, let's go to score here. Because I'm going to go ahead with GM score.
-1.
You can do negatives.
Yeah, I am going
What
negative.
kind of teacher are you?
I'm going -1.
So the first one, the Deschutes
I'll give it a 1
freshly squeezed
or a
IPA.
0, or a 0.
She's going to give it a
0. Maybe a 1. That's a generous. That's with a curve.
Hold on. There we go. Oh, GM is going to go to. She gives it a -1.
On the Pecan Pete.
No. This is the first one.
Oh, the first one I give that. No, I give that one a 1.
Okay, so she's going to. I'm going to change the score here. She's going to give it a 1. There we go. So she gives it a 1. There we go. Change it up. There we go. Give it a 1.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan. I mean, I'm one of those guys that back in the
I don't like
back in the day at number 16 Greek Circle in Lubbock, I would definitely. We weren't picky about what kegs we had or what beers we had. It was usually whatever the cheapest deal at Doc's. And if you're from Lubbock, Lance, I know you know this. You go to Doc's or Pinky's out the strip and you'd grab whatever was on. They had these big ads in the Lubbock paper or in the campus paper, what was on special. And you get like a 30-pack of Schaefer or Busch or whatever it was cheap. And once in a while, you get the Coors Light be on special. It'd be like, you'd buy a 12 of Coors Light for one price and you'd buy the real filler beer, the later beer of the evening, you buy a case of the cheaper stuff. Well,
You didn't give the ladies the good stuff.
well, that was Trash Can Punch.
Yeah,
But
I was drinking that.
yeah, I'll give you a review in a moment here, Keith. In just a second, I'll get you caught up. But
Neither one of these were good, Keith.
but well, it's what Keith might like that kind of beer. But so yeah, going back in time,
What'd you give the first one?
I haven't given it yet. So with that in mind, I think of the reference of, okay, in a desperate situation, would you, if you walk into your mate's place and he says, hey, that's all I got,
Drinking water.
would I do it? And I'm still going to say,
Nope.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.
Whoa.
I mean, because I'm not going to, it's not going to kill me now, maybe later, but it's not going to kill me now. There are worse filler beers, we called them. I mean, again, like I said, we go out the strip, we buy the cheapest kegs we could get,
That'd be a pricey filler.
and then at home, you go out and again, you'd buy a 6-pack or 12-pack of whatever the expensive stuff. Then you bought the filler because after that 4th or 5th beer, Keystone Light, which was just coming out then, or Busch or Schaefer Light was a big player. But you ever have a Schaefer Light? That was a big player.
What about Lone Star? Was that cheap?
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Schlitz?
Yeah, Lone Star Light was always a big player in our house out in Lubbock. But
Did they have it light Schlitz?
I
Or is it just
don't
Schlitz?
recall Schlitz Light, but there was a Lone Star. There was a Lone Star Light, and Schaefer Light was a big one. Schaefer Light. That's what the Minnesota Twins jerseys look like for light cans. Okay, so all right, so that's the first one. So Keith, that you caught up. First one is an IPA from Deschutes in Bend, Oregon. I believe, was it Bend, Oregon?
Yes.
Bend, Oregon. Folks, it's 6.4% by
Would you buy
volume.
more? Hell to the no, Keith. I would not.
Well, Keith, again, if you are, this is a little better for you there.
But this one that I'm saying hell to the no was better than the second one. The
Why is
second
my camera
one was
wonky?
disgusting.
My camera's all wonky there. Sorry, but Keith, do you like dark beer and do you like IPAs? If you like IPAs, then I think that this might. Are you an IPA guy? That's the question. If you're an IPA guy, then
Do you like dark beer too?
yeah, but it's a dark IPA. If you like IPAs, both of them are. Both of them are dark beers. One's a porter, one's an IPA. If you like them, then I could see, because again, there is a difference in the two tastes. One more slightly fruitier and one more slightly pecan tasting. But so it depends. Would I buy more? no, but
I wouldn't buy any
if
more.
I was, again, I'm going back to my college days and this was a filler beer, this is what we had left. Give me 2.
Okay, that's sort of where I am on this. I mean, I'll never buy that again.
What?
It's not good. The Skinny Girl white peach margarita. bleh.
Again, well, that's
Not
skinny.
good. Not buying that again.
Anything skinny is usually pretty bad. It's like,
It's not good, but again,
it's like diabetic booze. I mean,
But
why
if
would you
you-
drink that?
but filler.
So,
like if I was down to the,
You've already given this score. I'm going to go ahead and put it up there for the second one. So, oops, sorry. That's all my Johnson over here. Get back. Back.
She's on your Johnson.
So she's like right about to jump right on me. Quit it. Get back. Okay, so GM, this one, the Pecan Pete out of Cisco. It's the beer is Red Gap Brewing. I'm going to give Red Gap more love because I'm going to actually pull.
I would flush that down
in
the
the
toilet.
in the next round of beer testing, we're going to go through and I'm going to find one of their lighter beers and see what we can find from them because they have more than just this pecan. But it got my attention because of the pecan and because of the pecan thing and because we had the pecan
yeah,
beer,
I like the pecan pie.
the pecan sour pie we had a
Decent.
couple weeks ago. But this is a
That's
it's a
flushable.
porter,
It's flushable.
and he has the little cool dude there. Oop.
Flushable.
There we go. There's the
can.
cool. There's the cool dude right
You
there.
can.
So she gives again. I'm going to give it slightly.
It's the worst beer I've ever tasted.
I'm going to slightly give it a slight edge over the
More.
previous beer. It's a 4.4. So of the two, I wouldn't buy 6 more. But
No.
in a pinch, would I drink 6? Well, again, this is a pretty easy question. Probably in a pinch, drink this one again. I would do this one again in a pinch if I had to, but I wouldn't definitely go buy 6 more. So there's
I
your
wouldn't
answer to
buy
that.
this again.
Well, again, we're not doing the skinny mark. Again, any
But you never know. Somebody's wife may be watching this.
I can't give away the shoots is out. You guys carry that, so you're familiar with this then.
I can't give away Deschutes. I know. I'm not surprised by that at all, Kevin. It's disgusting.
But they've got to have more than that, Kevin, don't they? I mean, there's got to be more than. I mean, I would think. I mean,
It's disgusting.
maybe they don't. Maybe it's all they carry. I mean, I would think because these.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty, yeah. So what? Well, Keith, if once in a while you like dark beer, I would think Pecan Pete would be the one.
Ooh,
If
no.
you like dark beer,
No, funny story, Keith.
But it's a
Hello
porter.
Kitty. To apparently Caroline had an app that would translate cat meows earlier. So we were learning what Kitty was trying to tell us. It was really funny. She wanted to relax and sleep, apparently. Now she just wants food because it's dinner time.
it's dinner time. Yeah. Well, anyway.
What about you? You just ate. I'm not going to give you any more pretzels, buddy.
So am I wrong here, babe? But you think skinny? Throw it for a margarita, frappuccino, beer, whatever. The word skinny usually means it sucks.
No, I've had some margaritas that are skinny that I like better than the regular margaritas.
Yes, Keith, I agree with you there.
Yeah, no.
There's
Okay.
certain beers that go really good with certain foods. I've had a darker beer IPA. I had I can't remember the name of the one I had at a restaurant in Seattle
Prime
last time I
rib?
was there, but it was a great kind of prime rib. And they had a local IPA. It was phenomenal. A little darker beer. It was great.
He wants some prime rib.
Again,
He wants prime rib. That was a.
okay.
I can't help.
Okay. Well, also, not a big fan of Budweiser. I'll drink it, but Budweiser with tacos is the bomb. I don't know why, but old school Bud with tacos is good.
Well, do you want to know? You want me to do my Budweiser trick for your people? You know the little Budweiser motto that's on every can? I know the Budweiser motto.
Want this, Bud? You want it or not?
Come here.
You want
Here,
this?
give it to me. Want this? Take it. We'll see what he does with it.
They took it away.
Yeah, I know the Budweiser motto. We learned it one night when we were drinking too much.
Did you?
Yeah, this is the famous Budweiser beer. We know of no other beer produced by any other company that costs so much to brew and age. Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, smoothness, and drinkability you'll find at no other beer at any price.
And with that, there we go, folks. That is the beer extravaganza. Let's see here. Keith. There we go. Cole Miller Champagne of Beers. Good. I
could
take
go
you up.
for a burger and a beer right now.
Well, good luck with all that because it's not happening. So,
Well, we have beer.
yeah, we have burgers, but I ain't cooking right now. I'm still talking.
Okay, so can I say something that's not related to beer?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the other person that was in my class today, other than Calvin Watkins, the sports writer for the Dallas Morning News, writes for the Cowboys.
Best
And
sports page in the world.
We were talking Mavericks. We were talking Luka Doncic. We were talking Zeke. We were talking Dak. We were actually, the question that was asked was who's more popular, Luka or Dak in the city? And I was team Dak, and some of the boys were team Luka. And I was like, no, who sells more jerseys? Who's on more commercials? Whose face is more recognizable? I think
Changing.
one. Yeah. But anyway, I'm a Luka fan. I mean, anyway, that's beside the point. Calvin Watkins was a great guest. The other guest I had was Rhett Miller, class of 1989, who looks like he's 25 and he's 50. The lead singer for the Old 97s. And he was great. He sang two of his songs, and one of them was I Like You Better. And I thought, I need to write you a poem about what I like you better than. And one of them, in his song, he writes that he likes whomever, I'm guessing maybe his wife, better than beer, and better than cash, and better than self-doubt, and better than, I can't remember what the other one was, but it was such a great song.
Oh.
But he was great. He was funny. I bet he would be a really fun dad.
TCA, where I went to high school, and I think you may have gone there.
I did.
They're doing a thing. It's really exciting. They're doing a really cool thing where they're going to bring back alums, and it's going to teach kids life lessons on what not to do. And I'm the headline speaker.
Oh, shut up.
Excited about that. Kids, do not turn out like me. This is my story. Although,
You have a great story.
Paul and I have a really good idea in Australia. Paul Morgan, my broadcast partner, dear mate over there. There's some things that go on in the baseball world that behind the scenes, especially the minor league level in the States, that are unbelievable. Go to Australia to the very same game in a different world away. The stories are almost totally you can't make this stuff up. And he and I kind of come to the conclusion, you had this conversation again last night. We got to put this stuff to pen to paper and put it on HBO or Showtime because it's good. It's gold. And
Make a good movie.
And
you know what I found out? I have the grandson of the coach Musselman
okay. How about that?
in my class.
How
I thought
about
you would
that?
know who that is.
Phil or Bill?
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
How about that?
His grandson's in my class.
How
He plays
about that?
lacrosse.
Yeah. And she teaches a really good school. They've got a lot of celebrities there. And my little school's got myself and the weather guy from
True.
Channel
Tony
4.
Romo.
He didn't go to school there. His kids go to
Candace
TCA.
Crawford.
Yeah, but who knows who she is? I mean, Tony does. I'm glad for Tony Romo, but it's me and Chip Wagner. Chip Wagner is actually legitimately a celebrity in Dallas. He's the weather guy, or traffic guy in the morning. I live in this city, and not a soul knows who I am, even though I'm on the radio like 100 times a year, and no one knows who I am. So,
I know who you are.
yeah, but doesn't you do? But
My boys know who you are.
because you tell them, poor kids. But yeah, Luke. I'll make this prediction about Luka, by the way, Keith, and my wife. Of the two, now assuming the Cowboys do sign Dak, which if they don't,
Luka is fearless.
If they don't, there's something very, very wrong with Jerry. But then again, there's something very wrong with Jerry anyway. Of the two, I get the feeling, this is just the feeling. Luca's a great kid. I think he's fearless.
Another question for you.
I think that of the two, the long-term effect will be Dak will be, Luca will always be thought of very highly here. I don't think he'll be a Dirk type to play his whole career here. That's what I think will happen. I think that he won't play his whole career. I think Dak will. Dirk, I did play his whole career here. Aikman, so different cities are like that. You have cities that have, well, even Jordan, even though he played that short time with Washington, still is a Bull. Even
Tom Brady. He'll always be a Patriot. Okay,
yes.
Speaking of your mom's comment, can I fire Jerry? We were talking about who's more popular, Dak or Luca, and then we went to who's more popular, Jerry or Mark Cuban. This is a good question. Particularly St. Mark's, where we should definitely be on Team Cuban since his kid, goes there, and he's a great parent.
Jerry's grandkids go to our rival.
Jerry's grandkids go to our rival, and no one in Dallas likes Jerry. Does anyone in Dallas like Jerry except for Jerry?
I like his business sense. I think he's a good businessman.
He's a good businessman, but he's not. Don't get me
terrible GM, great business.
But I think Mark. I think the reason why we were talking about being on Team Mark is that Mark. Again, Jerry's a genius marketer. He's terrible with the culture. But we were talking about how Mark Cuban's culture at the Mavericks organization is really good.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah, no more pretzels, buddy.
Is Stanley Hobauter still writing?
I don't know. He didn't mention other writers. He mentioned a couple of guys, but that was.
I did find that. I don't believe so. Kevin, yeah, we found the pretzels, mate. We did. They're both very well. Both faces. If you put Jerry's face up on TV and you put Cuban's face on TV, there's a pretty good chance that people will know who they were nationwide. I'm pretty sure. I will say this about Cuban, though. I have a fraternity brother of mine. Sorry, a church mate of mine in my Bible study group that met last night, and he actually said point blank, things are ramping up again with the Mavericks. They're playing. This guy's a sales executive, front office guy, and he said, "Can I get one more, and then I'll be done?" Thank you, babe. I need a COVID stick.
COVID sticks.
Caroline had her COVID hands all over it, so I'll give COVID shortly. You can catch COVID from pretzels. No, I'm kidding. No, that's not true. But anyway, my buddy he said that Cuban's a fabulous boss, fabulous owner, fabulous support system. He loves working for the Mavericks, and he knows even though things have been slow with COVID and sales have been up and down, they've had a hard any sport, any business. This COVID's effect. I've told you guys this before. It's affected all the businesses. It doesn't matter, airlines, ditch digging, you name it. It's affected everybody except for the folks who make masks and the folks that make hand sanitizer. Everybody else seems to be struggling. And he mentioned last night how fortunate he is and blessed to work for the Mavericks, such a good owner who cares about his people. And I think that's a great testament when a person tells you that.
Well, I see him volunteering in the lunch line. He shows up to eat lunch with his kid. I mean, this is pre-COVID. He can't come on campus now, but he's just another dad. He serves, he cares. He shows up to the senior auction. He's there with his kid. I think he's a great dad. I think he's a good owner. I like his politics about 80% of the time. I think Shark Tank is fun. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think Harry Jones is a douche. That's the nicest thing I can say about Harry Jones. No. Or I'm going to brush you.
I think Jerry's a phenomenal businessman, but his neighbor around the corner, Clark Hunt, who owns the Chiefs.
Well, his next door neighbor.
Well, just
the
around.
Crows.
Well, they're
literally the next door neighbor is the Crows.
I'm not talking about the Crows. I'm not name dropping these. I went to TCA. I didn't go. That's where I went to school. We used to beat St. Mark's just like a drum, just beat them like this. So we took care of St. Mark's. Matter of fact, Clark, all up there, JV. Oh wait, Clark will tell you he has a scar below his chin that he got from TCA when TCA pummeled the St. Mark's list. But anyway, another
I cheered on
conversation.
that.
Actually, this is a true story. Clark Hunt will tell you he got a scar playing
Go ahead.
TCA.
It was
Yeah.
probably Clark or Craig Hodges that gave it to him.
No, probably was the kicker.
For you.
The kicker.
You were also on the line.
Yeah, but I sucked. But anyway, that's not the point. We regress. This show is going all around the place. Anyway,
That's what makes it interesting.
Clark Hunt lives around the corner. The Hunts live around the corner from the Joneses, and you would never know when Clark Hunt walks into a Starbucks or St. Mark's Field. Well, the St. Mark's folks. He walked into Cistercians Field a couple of years ago to watch a JV football game on a Thursday night. When there's like 20 people in the stands, he's on his phone. He was checking his phone between plays, but he was in dad shorts and dad shoes. He looked like a dad.
Being a dad.
And he and I just chatted a bit, just talking because his son was St. Mark's kid. And he introduced me to his son. Anyway, he owns the Chiefs, and you would never. I mean, most folks in this city don't even know the guy lives here,
He looks like my dad.
which is terrible.
He looks like a young version of my dad.
Embarrassment of riches when the T-Bones could afford to trade AJ. Yeah, that happened. Did that happen today, Kevin? Because I knew it was supposed to, but I hadn't heard. No one messaged me today.
Here's a shocker.
Let me see if that came across the transactions. That was been the works. I probably could have. I'd known that for a couple of weeks that might happen, but I know that Joe had not had a chance to pull that trigger yet. I think there was some. Let me see here if I can pull this up. Good question. Our American Association transactions. Yeah. Okay. Milwaukee, it did go through.
For cash?
As a matter of fact, just to pull the curtain back, Kevin, I've been doing the bios of all the players. Now I do them all. And I had not done his new one, or I hadn't really updated his because I didn't think he was going to be with us. I figured he would be traded. And Joe had mentioned that to us on a conference call maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Maybe it was the week of Christmas he mentioned that. But it finally went through. But I did not break through on breaking news today, and I feel terrible I didn't do it. So as soon as I'm done here, I'll guess I have to do that. And I didn't even know that. No one texted me today, and I know of. I don't see this. Let's see here. A little late. Yep. They gave it to me at 6:03.
So, yeah, 30 minutes ago. 31 minutes ago.
So, yeah, I'll have to go on real quickly before I shut down for dinner. But, yeah, so, yeah, it is an embarrassment. What? I'm not going anywhere for a few minutes, babe. So
We just talked about that.
oh, okay. But yeah. So yeah, it's embarrassment pitching riches. T-Bone's got a pretty good
No, they do. I've been editing bios. Man, you guys are pitching heavy. You got a lot of rock stars.
yeah.
I mean, rock stars. I'm excited.
Future
And even some
Perth
I liked the connection between Ramsey and who was the guy that was on the team with him somewhere. Anyway, or connected with him somehow. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, my wife edits the bios because I didn't pass English. So
No, he did pass English. It's just that I'm a perfectionist. And hey, if you've got a grammar Nazi in your corner, why wouldn't you use her?
I like to keep Nazis at my arm's length, but okay, if that's what you feel strongly about.
I said grammar Nazi, not Nazi. I'm not a Nazi.
All right. Well, all good. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for us, babe. Don't you think? We're oh gosh, we've been on quite a while. We've been on almost an hour and a half.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out. There she goes. Lovely WD-40. Much love to her. Okay, coming on Monday again. It's Martin Luther King Day on Monday, the holiday. No school, so we'll be home. But I think what we'll probably do on Monday is because we had such bad luck today at the beer, we may break out
Michelob Ultra.
2 more on Monday, or maybe 1 on Monday, or maybe we'll try the Reese's. No, because then I'm stealing my fraternity brother Mike Obrich's thunder. I don't want to do that. He does a really good show. I'm excited. I don't want to steal his thunder. That's kind of do that. So I don't know. Maybe my wife can make it. I'll do hard to water. If we can just catch up on Monday and look
Hopefully
forward.
we'll be celebrating a Tech Baylor win.
You heard it right there, folks. Right there. Much love. And of course, reminder, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Adjust your timepieces in wherever you are. That's 7 a.m. in Western Australia. That's 10 a.m. in the East, 9 a.m. in Brisbane. And I don't know what time that is in Adelaide. So,
What time is it in South Africa? What about Denmark?
South Africa, Denmark would probably be, it's 6 hours ahead of us. So that'd be Iceland's, I think, 5 ahead of us. South Africa would be,
Little Tonga?
well, it depends one side is Tonga is, which side of the date line are they on? One of the Samoas is on the date line, one of them is not, or on the cross. And it's Samoa, American Samoa's on one side, Samoa's on the other. So Tonga is on the U.S. Samoa side of the date line, I
I
believe.
made that point because he is a living, breathing atlas.
No, it's ridiculous. Anyway, much love to you guys. Much love to her. Much love. Thanks, Mom, for joining us. Thank you, folks. What?
This mess.
What happened?
I'll take a picture.
Well, it doesn't do me. Why don't you turn your phone on and let's see what you did.
Okay, hold on. I'll go to be live.
I want to see this. This should be interesting because the dog apparently, my guess is, and I thought about this a while ago, that he would just destroy the pretzels and not eat them. Is my guess, and that's kind of what I think is probably happening. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it, Keith. Love you too, brother. Let's get the one. There we go. Here she comes. Let's let her in here. Let's show the wife. Go and there we go. Oh, there we go. What we got there, man?
Camera.
Let me plug these in real quick. There we go.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, good grief. That's what I thought. I remember thinking going, you know what?
Nice.
He would do.
Let me see if there's any more in here. No, he didn't bring him in here.
I had a feeling that he took the press and he realized they weren't. They realized that they weren't.
They weren't bones.
They weren't bones. He's like,
Yeah, there's like little pieces
screw
everywhere.
this. I'm going to tear up the house. I tear up the.
I'm gonna make mommy sweet.
I mean, he thought they looked like little bones at the beginning of the two little bone bags. And he, yeah, anyway, thanks, man. Appreciate that. There we go. He thought they were the little, get these little bones for his teeth. And he also gave him the rawhide bones too, but he thought that was his morning treat. He realized it was nothing but a pretzel. He's like, screw these people. I'm not putting up with that nonsense. We love you, Maps. You're the best. That's hilarious. All right, guys, we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. As I said, much love. Let's be better tomorrow today. Better fans, better family members, better whatever country, state we live in, city, whatever. Let's all give virtual hugs, empathy, try to get along if we can, and again, show more and more love as we roll right along. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. We'll see you guys on Monday. Your virtual happy hour. Love y'all. See y'all then. Rackham Tech. Beat Baylor.